So congratulations, Raja. This is great news. You know, it's your first feature, 20 years in the making. It's the first feature, and it gets into the biggest film festival around.
Yeah.
Do you feel any sort of pressure?
No, I'm actually very happy. I'm going to enjoy it. I mean, there's no pressure. The pressure is not about like, okay, am I going to win? Of course I want to win. Of course I would love to do what Anthony did. By being part of it, being nominated, being considered is a big deal. I'm very proud that I'm going. Two Singaporean films. For a small country like ours, I mean, to have 2 films, it is a big deal.
I want to see my family.
I want people to watch my film. I mean, I'm not one of those. I'm not making it for people, you know, the audience. It's only for myself. No, I think you make films because you want to share your story. Because when you make it, when you write the story, you think that you want to share it because you feel there's something important to tell.
Yeah.
Right? If not, why make it?
The law is not as kind to repeat offenders.
I think they'll definitely identify with it. I think a lot of people would have seen these characters.
你男朋友啊？
还真以为那是摩托车啊？怎么样？
Those people who had seen it told me that, yeah, you know, they've seen these characters, they're real. I mean, so that's a big compliment for me. I'm not a very political person. If it happens to be there, fine. I think it's a subconscious thing. I think what I feel about issues, right, whether it's political or not political, I think it comes out somehow. But I'm not going to put it overtly and, you know, say, okay, this is very pointed, I have to say this. No, I don't think about it that way. Yeah. I think, and I don't like to judge anyone or anything. I mean, because I think I'm very sensitive. I don't like to be judged. You know, I have been, you know, made fun of, and so I think we should be very fair, and that's something that I think I have in my.
And it comes out
in the films. Yes. Yeah, and also I always, you know, push it to the extreme, the characters, the situation. So I think from that we learn more, you know, what happens when something extreme happens, you know, to a person. How do we handle it? I was very interested in the idea about racial harmony, or I was about the, you know, how we were always, you know, the minority thing. Okay, racism in Singapore is not overt. It's there, and sometimes that's more dangerous. It's sort of simmering under the skin, you know, like, and you don't feel it. But then, and we also shy away from it. We dare not, even the minority, you know, we don't dare talk about it. We don't say it. But sometimes I've experienced it, and then sometimes I get angry, or sometimes I think, hey, that's not fair, you know, but it happens to you. I mean, I think it happens everywhere, and you know, so you kind of feel that tension, but it's not overt. And then, so these things came to play when I wanted to talk about, so how do you juxtapose the, so I thought of using one person who's Singaporean, who is not a foreigner but treated like an outsider, the other, and one person who is an outsider struggling, and you know, how they connect with each other. The film was set in a way that it was about the underbelly, you know, marginalized people, or people who are not so fortunate, who are living on the edge, whatever you want to say. But these stories came about initially by people who were living under my block. A whole family, a Malay family, was living homeless under my block. There's still this man who sleeps under, a Chinese man, who comes and sleeps there with his bag, and he goes off in the morning, I think he works, and sleeps there at night, and he's probably homeless too. I set my story about these people because I was intrigued by their stories, you know. What would their lives like? You see, I'm not a provocative kind of a filmmaker. I mean, I don't take an issue and say, okay, I want to make a film about this. My films are always a personal response to something that I felt or experienced. So I think that's what this film is about.